When it comes to color theory, certain colors that are used in album covers can convey different things. Album covers that use red express anger, passion, determination and stress. But paired with the color yellow, you also get hints of egotism, deception, betrayal and fear. When those colors are combined, they perfectly encapsulate the feelings you get when listening to Gia Gotti by Boards of Canada. But this video isn't just about color theory. What truly are the best and worst albums for each color? Starting off with our red albums, we have When the Pawn by Fiona Apple, By the Time I Get to Phoenix by Injury Reserve, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West, It's Dark and Hell is Hot by DMX, Fly God is an Awesome God 2 by West Side Gun, The Red Album by Weezer, Revival and Music to Be Murdered by, both by Eminem, Life of a Don by Don Toliver, Watching Movies with the Sound Off by Mac Miller, Core by Stone Temple Pilots and Songs for the Deaf by Queens of the Stone Age. A lot of solid albums to pick as the best. Let's go over some of these. While Watching Movies isn't the best consistently, it's rarely ever brought up in discussions about the best albums of the 2010s. Definitely a contender for the list as I feel like it's pretty underrated as a whole. But come on, there are better albums here. Core is also underrated but far from the best rock album in its respective genre. Songs for the Deaf is a really good one and I would recommend checking it out. Music to Be Murdered by isn't anything special at all. It's a pretty mediocre album by his standards. Some enjoyable songs like I Will and No Regrets but also stinkers like Stepdad and Marsh. The B-side is way more inconsistent though as that has Tone Deaf, the worst song he's put out in recent history. Revival is definitely his worst though and is my pick for the worst album for this color. As for the best, I do really like By the Time I Get to Phoenix and I'm terribly sorry but this one's going to Fiona Apple. Next are our orange albums, those being Channel Orange by everybody's favorite homosexual who refuses to drop music cause he hates his fans, followed up by Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder, Issues by Korn, Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator, Plastic Beach by Gorillaz, No Pressure by Logic, The Life of Pablo by Kanye West, Dirt by Alice in Chains, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, The Spaghetti Incident by Guns N' Roses, Heavy Heavy by Young Fathers and Lil Bo 2 by Lil Yachty. Some good albums in here but also some shite as well. And while Yachty's album isn't being picked as the worst, it's also far from his best album. That would be The Spaghetti Incident actually. I am a firm believer that Guns N' Roses is the most overrated band of all time. How do, if at all, they get any praise? The lead singer was a racist piece of shit and they don't have a single good album in their entire discography. This album also doesn't start off that bad but by track 6 the quality takes a nosedive. It's a little trickier determining the best album though as there are a lot of solid options here. No Pressure would have been a great send-off for Logic if that whole Def Jam situation didn't happen. Heavy Heavy will be the most overlooked album here as it has great diversity but has some sequencing issues. Between Issues, Flower Boy and Songs in the Key of Life, those being the three I'm stuck between, I'll go with Stevie Wonder here since those songs put me in such a good mood when I hear them. We definitely need that type of positivity right now in regards to all the shit that's currently unfolding. Next are the yellow albums, those being Deltron 3030, Be by Common, Pablo Honey by Radiohead, Blur's self-titled album, Trench by 21 Pilots, Sign O' the Times by Prince, Magical Mystery Tour by the Beatles, In the Fish Tank 9 by Sonic Youth, ICP and the X, In Utero by Nirvana, Good For You by Amine, This Old Dog by Mac DeMarco and Doo-Wops and Hooligans by Bruno Mars. A pretty weak selection of albums this time around but that makes picking the worst album here even harder. Let's start with trying to find the best though. Deltron 3030 is the meta-commentary album that speaks upon artificial intelligence taking over the world and adapting to the changes as they come. Great message and a genuinely well-crafted album but there are some other good albums worth looking at. Trench is a vast improvement when it comes to the Ohio group's last album, that being Blurry Face, complete with more mature writing and compelling song ideas to present. And In Utero is a pretty great album as well. But obviously, this one's going to be by Common. As for the worst, we all know Emine's album is far from that but still pretty forgettable. I could honestly say the same for Doo-Wops and Hooligans. But if there's any album here that actually pisses me off, it's Magical Mystery Tour. What the actual fuck is this album? It doesn't insist on taking itself seriously and is their most consistently horseshit album they've ever released. It's going to that one. Next are our green albums, those being Brett by Charlie XCX, Nurture by Porter Robinson, Good News for People Who Love Bad News by Modest Mouse, So Much Fun by Young Thug, Goblin by Tyler the Creator, The Green Album by Weezer, Results May Vary by Limp Bizkit, Bush by Snoop Dogg, 32Zell Planet Shrooms by Denzel Curry, The Backend Child by No Cap, Drip Season 3 and The Paper Cut Chronicles by Gym Class Heroes. Quite a bit of mid when it comes to the selection here. But there's one that sticks out like a sore thumb when it comes to the worst one here, and that would be Results May Vary. It's the most unlistenable album here even though Goblin exists. To be fair though, I was never the biggest fan of this band, so there's that. Best is also pretty obvious. It's the Modest Mouse album. But there are some other pretty great ones as well. Brett is the one people most associate with the color green and was the culture phenomenon of last year. Even with its upbeat and cheery songs, its more personal cuts make it stand out even more. Nurture is a great listen as well as it's very beautiful. And obviously So Much Fun is Thug's best studio album. It's still Modest Mouse though. Next are the blue albums, those being Nevermind by Nirvana, Dummy by Portishead, The Blue Album by Weezer, Grace by Jeff Buckley, Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish, Nothing Was the Same by Drake, Titanic Rising by Weyes Blood, Do You Want More by The Roots, The Blueprint 2 by Jay-Z, Encore by Eminem, Ride the Lightning by Metallica and MPV by My Bloody Valentine. There are a lot of great albums here to choose from, so that's why we'll pick the worst album first. It's Encore. It's the only album here that has bad writing throughout and bad singing as well. If the drugs made you stupid enough to pump this out, you should have got off them sooner. Now for the best album here. This is gonna be hard. Titanic Rising is such a pretty sounding album. But Nevermind also has very high highs. Do you want more though? No, I don't actually. But thanks for asking regardless. As much as I like to dunk on Weezer, there are some very solid deep cuts on the Blue Album. But I have decided on Grace by Jeff Buckley. Keep in mind that this is the only album he ever released. And yet, it's better than a lot of people's debuts. You could tell that he put his all into every song because the whole thing sounds beautiful. Rest in peace. Next are the girly pop, Pink albums. We have Pink by Boris, Pink Friday, Pink Tape by Lil Uzi Vert, The Notorious K.I.M. by Lil Kim, Sucker by Charlie XCX, Pink Elephant by Arcade Dumpster Fire, Solace by Earl Sweatshirt, Igor by Tyler the Creator, Aries by Jaden, Loveless by My Bloody Valentine, Post by Bjork and Wolfgang Amadeus by Phoenix. This has to be the worst selection out of any color I have ever seen. We don't even need to debate this one. Igor's the best one and Pink Elephant's the worst one. Moving on. Next is the lean color, purple. We have, of course, Purple Rain by Prince as well as The Life of Pierre 4 by Pierre Bourne, Graduation by Kanye West, Skeletrix Language by Edward Skeletrix, Love is Rage by Lil Uzi Vert, The Purple Album by Young Thug and Gucci Mane, Guts by Olivia Rodrigo, Man on the Moon 3 by Kid Cudi, Let God Sort 'Em Out by Clips, Currents by Tame Impala, Oracular Spectacular by MGMT and Oil of Every Pearl's Insides by the late Sophie. We all know what the best one is, but I want to talk about a few of these before I tell you what album that is. Skeletrix Language may not be an album that everyone who watches this channel knows, but it has a very unique shade of purple that isn't seen in any other cover. Bonus for creativity points. As for The Life of Pierre 4, pretty solid overall, but the second half loses a bit of the steam it had going in the first half. Let God Sort 'Em Out is my album of the year contender so far. Great rapping from both Pusha T and Malice as well as incorporated punchlines that make it hit way harder. Also great production from Pharrell as well. Only slight criticism is that Pharrell's hooks can be pretty hit or miss. And Currents may be a fantastic album, but come on. It's going to Prince. Worst album is going to Young Thug and Gucci Mane. Not bad, just standard. Next are the White Albums, those being the White Album by the Beatles, Speak for Yourself by Imogen Heap, Black Star by David Bowie, Brown Sugar by D'Angelo, OK Computer by Radiohead, Question Mark by X, Exclamation Point by Trippie Redd, The College Dropout by Kanye West, The Blueprint 3 by Jay-Z, To the Five Boroughs by Beastie Boys, Music by Playboi Carti and the Gorillaz' self-titled album. Another very obvious one. It's Black Star. Although I will speak on how underrated I feel like Speak for Yourself is. It has great vocals and many of the songs went on to be sampled on equally as good songs. Maybe except the Australian drill song that samples Headlock, but still. As for the worst, Trippie Redd is right there, so we might as well give him it. And for our final set of albums, we have our Black and White albums. We have Scorpion by Drake, To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar, Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial by Roddy Ricch, Midvillainy by MF Doom, Top by Young Boy Likes to Copy from Others, Doris by Earl Sweatshirt, Undone by The Roots, The Queen is Dead by The Smiths, Habits and Contradictions by Schoolboy Q, GNX by Kendrick Lamar again, Reasonable Doubt by Jay-Z and Midputation by Taylor Swift. Hey look, The Roots. Undone is a great album, but it's no Things Fall Apart. That's why it's going to Pimp a Butterfly. Also, I just want to address very quickly the similarities between Roddy and Young Boy's covers. Who gave Young Boy the permission to copy him? I genuinely wanna know. Anyways, back to the worst album here, which is Scorpion. And those are the best and worst albums for each color. Which ones did I get right and which ones did I get wrong? And which albums did I forget to include in each? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, peace out.